Yeah.
Passed out.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, not for this show.
Okay, so I got us live. Tony, you'll have a couple minutes to do all your sharing. You'll hear music now.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, we are now live on another episode of the Wicked Horror Show. With us today, we have Kevin.
What's going on, everybody?
Tony.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our guest this evening?
Sure. We have Slashervictim666 from Real and Real 2. Definitely different. It's more of, what would you call it? On the line of snuff horror films and such, like shot on camera and stuff. So Slasher666, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. I mean, I call the movies, if you want to know the truth, I call them documentaries, but I was told if I call them horror, I will make more money because, there's more of an audience, and, that was help from my assistant who told me that. So, to me, they're just documentaries about my life and, bringing all the stars to the Golden House.
Nice. And they're definitely brutal. The first one was brutal. I was like, wow, Tony, this is pretty brutal. And then he's like, just wait till you see the second one. Second one was even more brutal. So it's one thing that I'm a fan of is well done horror effects. And even though the films are on the lower budget side, you really pulled it off. Like there's a lot of really good gore in both of these movies. The second one especially. So
well, thank you, my friend. If you want the best looking gore in a movie, all you have to do is rip someone open from the inside, and it always looks exactly like real, just like the movies.
Looks like ripping the inside, exactly.
Yeah, yes. So people who pour ketchup on themselves and stuff like that, I'll show you an example, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So you've seen Real 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is Assistant Jane's insides.
Oh, okay.
Do you see? See how black and dark it looks? And this keeps me warm at night. But, often when you see horror movies or any movies and they make blood, it's very red and, doesn't look very real. Mm-hmm. You can see how real blood looks.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
That's the best way to have it be the most authentic. And
Just have it be real.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
Right.
pleased to meet you, my friends, too.
Oh yeah, you too. And you're out of Canada. We had mentioned before we went live. What part of Canada are you in?
Well, I'm in Toronto now. I came from Bradbury, which is way up by the Hudson Bay. No one really lives there. We're not even on a map anymore. But now I live in Toronto, but I think I'm probably up to about 25 or 30 stars now. And 666 will go to the Golden House. This is the Golden House symbol, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So 666 will go. And they all can't be Canadians, my friends. That would just be silly. So I think I gotta go to maybe New York or New Jersey next, and then slowly move my way to Los Angeles, and then the whole world. And
Cool.
we can see, what we can do, my friends? We can compare the bloods of the insides of the different stars and see how close they are in different countries. People always say the insides of everyone are the same. We can actually see that for real. Wouldn't that be a fun game?
Yeah, it would.
So maybe sometime I can come back and we'll have multiple jars, and we'll see how they compare. Someone from maybe France and someone from maybe Los Angeles, of course.
And if you get Leo's blood, it'll taste like coffee, I'm sure. But the game was really stepped up a bit between 1 and 2. Was it? I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into it, but like was there with the first one being released, was there some success to that enabled you to up it a bit?
Well, it was kind of the opposite, my friends. I made Reel 1, and I thought I was going to be, I thought already I would be number 1 on the IMDb star meter, and I thought they'd have full specials about me, everywhere, and I would trend on Twitter for, 10 million years, but then, I had good reviews, and people liked it, and my family stopped beating me and stuff, but I wasn't, I didn't have as much success as I wanted. So that's where I got the idea that, maybe the problem was I didn't have a female star. So that's where I started looking for, the best woman star. And so I took many there. And, but no, I thought, or if you'd like to know, we were talking a little before the breaks, a little inside story, my friends who are listening. About Piss Goodwin, basically, and that really threw me for a loop at the beginning, because I come from Bradbury, and our family's been making movies for at least 80, 90 years, but I'm going to do a family tree and see how long it's actually been going on, because maybe we actually made the first movies ever, for all I know. But I won't know that until I do more research from my grandma. But yeah, so I started making Reel, and family, didn't really like it, and I had to run away from home to make it. It was very challenging. But then once I made it, I didn't really know much about the industry at this point. I'd been in the Red Room for so many years and in the woods that I didn't know how it would go. So that's when I made a mistake and sold my movie to, we can call him Chris Goodwin, but I used to call him Piss Goodwin, because, I sold it to him and he said he was going to make me famous and make all those dreams I talked about earlier come true. But then I just found he just sat on the movie for 2 years, and then I look it up on the internet, and he put his name on it. He changed all my cast. He basically started to ruin my life. So I started to make my presence known online and said, listen, you are going to change your stuff and give me credit for it. So he said, read the contract, idiot. And I was so close to taking him to the Golden House, my friends. But, I figure I got to keep a good reputation in the industry. So basically, we come up with a deal where he gets to keep his name and all that fun stuff, but he no longer gets to say he directed it. I get to say I made my debut masterpiece and my sensational sequel. So really, I didn't get to start, promoting Reel until 2017, 2018. It was 2, 3 years of nothing while we waited for this. I was going to call him Piss Goodwin, but, for him to basically get out of the way and let me start working on it properly. So that's part of the reason why I don't think I'm on #1 star on IMDb yet. But we got lots of time, 666 stars, and I'm only on number 30. So,
Yeah.
It will come, my friends. It will come.
Yeah. Nice.
We see that a lot with movies being made, and then they just get sit on for years and years. So many good movies, like Billy Pond's movie there.
Dead.
Yeah, Circus of the Dead. So
they should go after the people who ripped them off too. If they need any help, tell them to email me, and we'll work together.
All right. He's in Texas, so I'm just saying, if you're looking to travel,
you're in Texas.
Yeah. So you can go.
Oh wow, my friend, you're so close to California. Tell me, are the hills as green as they say?
I'm not in Texas. The director, Billy Pond. I'm in Massachusetts.
Yeah, the one we were talking about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where are you all, my friends?
I'm in Mass. Leo's in Connecticut. I'll give you his address if you want it.
Love it. We can watch movies together, and you won't even know it.
Right, exactly. But yeah, and Tony's in New Jersey, so you can go there, and
Oh, that's where one of the first things I did when I got away from Piss Goodwin is I teamed up with Blood Fiend Distribution, who promoted my movie the right way, and they're in New Jersey. So you're close to my good friend Blood Fiend.
Nice.
Did not know that.
Craig is his name.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah. Yes, he's a good man. One of the best people I've met so far.
And he'll never be a star in one of your movies?
Oh, yes. Todd Smith was the first. That's why I gave him a whole, movie to himself. Or did you say he'll never be a star, or I'll never be a star? No. I need him to sell stuff after. I'll be a star. I'm going to be Slashervictim666.
Yeah.
So after I take 665 stars, I'll have to figure out the best way to take myself to the Golden House. But then I'm going to need Blood Fiend to, even make me more famous. So, I live forever for 1 billion years as the greatest filmmaker ever.
Right. Yeah. And the first one, I believe, is available right now for free on Vimeo. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Realstore.net is, I think, how you see it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it through Vimeo site, but maybe my assistant takes care of that stuff. I don't know the details too much.
Yeah, I think it's on Vimeo. It's embedded in the site on realstore.com. Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, we do have the trailer for the first one. Slasher, would you like to introduce the trailer?
Sure. I haven't seen this in a while, so I can't tell you exactly what's in it. But basically, the first star of a journey of 666 is very important. Who's going to be the first star? And this took me a couple of years to figure out. And it wasn't until I found Todd Smith, who coincidentally came from the same town I did, and he wanted to be famous too. He didn't have my talent or anything, my friend, but he wanted to be famous too. So I wanted to help him make his dreams come true. And, like they say with all the great directors, how they get lead actors who are kind of their alter ego. Well, you've all heard that, my friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I figured Todd Smith being from the same town and wanting fame, he would be the first perfect star. So the first reel is the journey of Todd Smith to the Golden House.
Here we go.
we gonna do without internet?
So glad I don't live in this town anymore. Every person that drives by me right now, I'm just like, douchebag, cunt, fucked your mom, did your dad. Oh, and I think that you had sex with me when you were drunk, but you don't remember it because you're so in the closet you don't even know that you had a dick in your own ass.
Look at this guy definitely. Oh, look at his fucking teeth, man. Because Todd Smith is going to be taking over the world, bitches.
Okay, so that is the movie Real, and if you head to it's realfilm.com, right?
Realstore.net.
Realstore.net.
Well, my friend, so many emotions watching that. Again, you know, some parts made me happy, but, you know, seeing my sister's face get taken off and put under my mom, and that was the night before my brother passed away. You know, it makes me sad still, you know, seeing it. But on a positive note, I should say, too, that was the trailer for the VHS edition, which is all sold out. We put a couple extra clips in there. Because at realstore.net, my friends, everything I make is rare and only has limited copies. So you can eventually sell it and make lots of money, and you can be rich and come live on the Hollywood Hills with the rest of us, you know. So almost buying stuff at realstore.net is as much of an investment, like buying into the stock market, something like that. And right, so the VHS is gone, but there is the DVD, which you can still get. And yeah, you could probably in 10 years this will be worth $2 or $3 million. And yeah, you can just, you know, take your kids to college, but most importantly, buy a house in LA with the rest of us.
Now, will that be going to like Blu-ray, or is it you guys stick with the VHS and DVDs only?
Yes, we'll eventually get to the Blu-ray as well. So, like, there was special stuff just on the VHS. There's special stuff just on the DVD. So if you guys saw the if it was on Vimeo or if it's streaming on realstore.net, either or for free, there's different stuff on the VHS version and the DVD version.
Oh, wow.
So there's 3 different versions, and once we make the Blu-ray version, we'll put some special stuff on there too. So everything's rare.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, for like especially fans of like this subgenre of horror, that they're big collectors, and it's smart to do that, because if you find like some diehard fans, they're gonna snag everything up. So that's smart marketing right there for sure.
We don't rip off anyone, my friends. Like I say, it's an investment. And also on realstore.net, you can download my book anytime. I wrote the whole thing by hand, 120 pages. And you can download it for free anytime you want. And it's the 50 greatest movies that inspired me to be the greatest filmmaker ever.
Nice.
Again, written by hand. So it's 100% real, unlike those fake books that go in printing presses.
What are some of your inspirations? What are some of the movies that inspired you?
Well, before me, the 50, part of the 50 movies are some of the movies my brother James liked, because, I look at your guys' DVD collection, and, he would have been best friends with all of you. He was a big movie man, and even though I was locked in the Golden House a lot, he showed me a lot through the cracks, like The Lost Boys and Necromantic and those kind of movies. But there are only 3 movies ever that were Golden House worthy before myself, and that's L'Âge d'Or by Louis Buñuel. You can see that from back in the 30s. There's Mr. Kenneth Anger's Scorpio Rising, which you can, see from the 60s. And then there's Peter Seraski's Outer Space. And those are the only 3 movies that have ever had the Golden House involved in it. Outer Space is very short, my friends. It's only about 12 minutes, so you can go watch that anytime you want. It's probably on YouTube or anything like that. But the 50 movies has lots of movies that inspired me, like, Teen Wolf, Mary-Kate and Ashley, lots of different stuff. And then I tell you why it inspired me and all that fun stuff. And it may surprise you, some of them. So I recommend download that book for all fans of all movies.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely check that out. That's interesting. And it's all,
Thank you, my friend.
It's handwritten. So is it, when you download it, it's the handwritten pages?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
There are 120 of them.
Wow.
Took me many days to write.
Yeah,
and little pictures I drew.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, you may. I think in the first one, isn't there like clips from like Driller Killer and stuff like that in the first one?
Yes, that was, again, that's special just for the online version. So you see something a little special on all the versions. But yes, that was a bit of an inspiration, but I was more connecting with Todd Smith at that point. Same with the last, where was it? The Last Broadcast, I believe it's called, which was one of Todd's favorite movies. So that was kind of showing, because Todd, he was, you all can go look at Todd's page, R.I.P. to the Golden House, which is on YouTube still. He was a found footage critic. So he would review all sorts of different types of found footage movies. So you all might find something you like there, and you can see extra clips of Todd. You can see just how I found him, because I found him on YouTube on his channel too. So if you're on YouTube right now making movies, there's still hope I may find you, my friend.
Yeah, Tony, make movies. Well, Tony, I mean, you've done reviews and stuff of.
I have. I was
website, and right on the main page there is it Mr. Tony of the Dead, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? So,
yeah, at that point in time, I was contacted through Instagram, and I was asked to check out the movies and if I'd give my own review, and I'm like, that's what I'm out here for. My channel is nothing but movies and stuff, so I'm like, why not? The first one was more of my style, I guess you want to call it, more found footage, and the end kind of went crazy. And then the second one was I almost didn't make it to the second one because I'm more of a horror comedy guy. So if I had to put it in perspective, horror comedy, and this is like on the opposite. But it's always nice to check out stuff that you're not used to. And it was definitely worth it. I think for those who are into the hardcore stuff, it's definitely up your alley.
It was definitely in part 2 was more inspired by, like I said, one of the directors who had tasted the Golden House, Mr. Kenneth Anger. So with part 2, I wanted to show how more advanced I was with editing and create something. I used to watch a lot of music videos through the cracks of the Red Room, and I wanted to create something that had a flow to it as opposed to the style of part 1. But with Reel 3 and Reel 4 and Reel 5, as we go on, I'll be using a different style for each movie and showing everyone how diverse I am and how I can do everything.
Nice. Are you gonna use your list of 50 movies and are you gonna emulate like off of that, or?
No, like I say, most 47 of those movies just happen to inspire me. But I will be inspired by Louis Buñuel's Last Duel at one point, and Peter Zaraski's Outer Space at one point. Those three all will hold a deep place in my heart. Yeah. But with Reel 3, I already know much about it. I'm still trying to find the perfect star, but I know the style it will be, and it will be a bit slower. It might be the slowest one, who knows? But it will be for a different type of movie fan.
Oh, nice. That's good that you're mixing it up and showing what you can do. That's important. But I like Tony was saying, the first one, and compared to the second, I enjoyed them both. But the second one, just the quality of gore, is just it's really. I mean, I don't know what the budget is for the movies or anything like that, but I know we were talking about like when you want gore to look real, you use real gore, but who do you have involved in that?
Just use this and you do a little cutting.
Okay. Yeah, I was basically just getting at whoever was involved in that effects was very good. So I'm credit to them for sure.
Well, that's probably a lie. I probably used this guy more.
Oh.
So you can thank him. I don't have a name for him yet, but I should give him one. He helps me so much. So you can thank him for the effects.
All right. But yeah, so I don't know. Is that Tony?
Thank you much, so my friend. All of you. I like that you enjoyed it. I can tell you guys are some of the wise ones. So yeah.
One thing, like Leo is definitely not like a gore guy, and there's been a few movies over the time that we've been doing this that I'm just like, I can't wait for Leo to see this because it's giving him nightmares. And like so Leo, compared to some of the other ones like Headless and even I mean I know there's like what is it, Song of Solomon, stuff like that. How would you compare gore wise to those films?
I'm not going to sleep well tonight.
That's good, my friend.
I have mental issues to begin with, so it's my nightmares are going to be quite interesting tonight. So nice. Yeah, I thank you for that.
We'll be not sleeping together. I barely sleep at night too.
He'll be in the room. He'll be there watching you not sleep.
No, my friend, you will be with me on the Hollywood Hills.
All right. I do have to find a mask like that, and I'm just going to hide it in Leo's house. But whatchamacallit, I'm just curious of what your nightmares will include. Like if it will be the whole, like the clapperboard in the bathroom, or yeah.
I think the worst one is from the first one with the whole face scene.
That was great. It looked awesome.
The two parts of it, because you had the fitting and then you had the removal. I mean, the removal, then the fitting. Sorry.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah,
though,
that was my, because my brother, he, accidentally fell in love with my mother, and he wanted to make her beautiful again. So the only person he could find who looked like her was my sister, and that was, I didn't mind they do that because me and my sister weren't that close. You can kind of see that in Real 2 a little bit, but once my dad, you know, he didn't even take my brother to the Golden House. We can't even say he was tributed like that. He just killed him, smashed his brain in with a hammer. And that was the day I had to leave Bradbury and, become the, come the, just it's a little tough for me to talk about, but become the filmmaker that I am today. See, and when I made my fan club card, see, these are also very rare. You'll find these on realstore.net. I give them out for free and send them to people during special times. But, you can see, I don't know if you can see the number there. He was number 1, and I never got to give it to him. So I keep his little fan club card deep with me. And if you have one out there, any of my family, just know James will always be the first one.
So now, how did you, with the first one, it was more, found footage or following Todd Smith. How did you cast the second movie? Because the second one, you had, a female character, you had way more people in it. How did that go about?
Well, like I say, once I thought maybe the problem was that I didn't have a female star, and I knew it wasn't going to be enough getting one female star. I knew I was going to have to get many, many of them. So I looked far and wide and got all shapes and sizes and made them all stars. But the problem, spoiler alert, but I'll try to talk around it. The problem was once I realized my family's dream was to go to Epstein Island, and they weren't thinking of stars the way I was. And it was, during the final, when I got them to help with the climax of my movie, and they're all in the house, and that was when I realized that, if you go on Scribd right now, you can find the Epstein Black Book of all the different people who, were friends with Epstein and all that. It was their dream to become one of those people. They wanted to take people and take them to the island, and who knows what to do. But I'm bringing back the real Hollywood. I'm changing it from the way it was. I am the future and the past all wrapped up in one, and I will make things right again. So that's why, if you see the end of Reel 2, you'll know what I had to do, which I'm pretty much better, but it was a lot of months of recovering, and, I had to use a bit of a corkscrew to sort of fix things and make it so things didn't, back up down there. But,
yeah. Speaking of Reel 2, though, Leo, I don't know if you want to play the ad. And have you played a Deadly Grounds ad yet?
No, actually, we should stop for that for a second because they're the ones that keep the network up and going. Deadly Grounds coffee, the most amazing coffee you'll ever have. I've been drinking way too much of it. I have 19 bags downstairs.
Jesus Christ, 19 bags.
Well,
are you eating it or are you drinking it?
A little of both, yeah. I wanted to make sure that I support.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. The one thing, like because of everything that's going on, cons have kind of stopped, and that's where Tom makes a lot of his money. But he's told me that he's doing very well with the mail order stuff, even to the point where he's like, I'm almost out of this, I'm almost out of that. So people are still getting their stuff, but
because Leo bought everything,
right? Exactly. We're almost out of this. Talk to your cousin. But the so I mean, it's good that he's still doing well, but I mean, at the end of the day, I would still rather buy it face to face. He's a good dude. And
oh yeah, totally. But until then, we'll continue to.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I need to place another order this week because he's.
What? You have 19 bags downstairs.
I know. Well, so last time I placed the order, I only ordered pumpkin and witch's brew.
You change your name to Karen. I understand. And
Ben from Token Dead, he sent me some chocolate to thank me. So for all the stuff I've been doing for him. But Tom is giving me some of the bag clips.
Oh, nice.
Because Megan's using them in the masks she's making.
Ah, cool. Good. That's
yeah.
smart. It's smart.
Yeah, I told him, he was placing an order for him. I said, so, if he can get me like 20 of them, I'll place another order of coffee as well.
Cool.
To save on the shipping. But, yeah, enough about all that. Deadly Ground coffee. The awesome thing about it is he uses special oils during the roasting process, so it's a nice hint of flavor, so it doesn't really overpower the coffee, but also it doesn't add any extra calories. There's no sugars or anything like that. Simply the most amazing coffee you'll ever have. Go to getdeadly.com. Links in the show notes down below or up above. Here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
There we go. And would you like to introduce the trailer for Reel 2, sir?
Yes. We're on Deadly Grounds. One time I liked them very much, and I think one time I'll try to make a real zombie for them to put in the commercial. We'll see how that works.
Oh,
but yes, Reel 2, like I said, this is about my search for basically trying to continue my search for fame and trying to find the perfect woman star, but then I sort of realize what my family wants and what I want are different. This is also why I have this mask. I'm the man of 1,000 faces, and this mask is, the Hollywood sort of secret Illuminati mask that my family got me, because again they wanted to take me to Epstein Island. So that's why I'm wearing that in honor. But on the basic plot level, Reel 2 is about me finding my first assistant, her journey through working with me, and the ups and downs that come with that. I should say right now I'm on assistant 3. Hopefully it's the last one.
Wow. There we go.
I wonder if we can put Humpty Dumpty back together.
No, I think Humpty Dumpty's never gonna get back together again, and
I don't know.
Nobody's ever gonna recognize he was Humpty Dumpty.
We just got finished watching the Reel movie. A little bit sketchy. The McCuddles or some family like that. Ethan's really on to this one. Thinks it's real as shit. So we're scoping out the area. We noticed a few spots from Toronto. It's hard keeping up to this motherfucker.
If we die tonight, I just want to say, Mom, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Any final words, guys?
You should be the director.
I would.
You actually know what you're doing. Much better understanding of the characters. SV.
Yeah. I don't get this whole.
What the hell is SV?
What does SV stand for?
What is SV?
Yes, and I should say too, my friends, one thing about Reel 1, like I said, that was mostly about Todd Smith and him becoming my first star, and so many people said, I wish there was more of you in it. I wish I learned more of you. So in Reel 2, you get to learn all about me and my family, and so many more stars, my friend. It's a much wider movie.
Yeah. So, like going forward, I know with the first one and the second one, your family comes in at the end. Well, sorry to ruin it for anybody, but it's that's where things really start to kind of happen. Is that going to be a recurring thing with the other ones? Are you going to keep that tradition going?
I probably not, my friend. With so many reels, I'm the new boogeyman. That's what my assistant tells me to say. So I'm not like Mr. Old Boogeyman like Jason Voorhees or Mr. Freddy Krueger, who, on those fake movies, they kind of just repeated themselves over and over and over and over and over and over. That won't be me, my friends. These are documentaries about my life, so there will be much difference in each one. I think Reel 3, which will, end the original trilogy, will show people a completely different side, and no one will expect where it's going or what it's about. It will have more of me, but it's also going to have. I say I don't know the stars, but I have a pretty good idea, my friends.
And any idea on when people can see Reel 3? Like when is that gonna happen?
It's still going to be a bit away, I think. The one thing about this is you can't rush things. You kind of have to wait until people move into the right positions and do the right things, to get the plot right. I wish I could just, drill in the back of their head and kind of put strings on them and move them like a marionette and get the scenes I need. But I gotta keep it real, and I gotta kind of trick people into moving into the right spot. But it's being worked on, my friends.
Nice.
Now you mentioned the Freddy Kruegers and the Jason Voorheeses and stuff like that, and maybe not as much, but every once in a while you get like an origin story where it's just a whole movie dedicated to that. And I know in the couple movies you had bits and pieces of your family life and your what's going on. Would you have like a whole movie dedicated to it so people learn more about yourself?
Great idea, my friend. And there's still so much old family movies I haven't shown. Like one of our favorite family movies before I made Real was, Boy on Fire from 1958. That my grandma made, and there's so many ones like that need to be shown. But the real, like I was saying kind of at the beginning, I need to go deep into the family tree. See, first of all, find out if my grandma's actually my great grandma, because I hear multiple contrasting stories with that. And then I need to find out if we go back further. Because guess what? I know she originally came from Massachusetts, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, we weren't always Canadian.
Do you know what Massachusetts?
Salem, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, place to be.
our last show was about Salem, Massachusetts, and the witch trials as well.
Yeah,
she might have even been a part of that. You never know. Possibly. But it's my guess is it goes back much further, and I think you're right, my friend. I think we need to show more of that, and also how many of them there are. There's a lot of us in Bradbury, but as you saw in Reel 2, my cousin Dominic, he lives in Toronto, and he's you wouldn't think he's part of the McCuddle family. You wouldn't think he's one of us, but we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So I would like to show that, definitely.
Nice.
Now, Kevin, you were talking about, the crazy times about not having conventions and stuff. Did you ever think about bringing your movie to a convention, finding out, like who else would want to see it and stuff like that?
You nailed it right on the head, my friend. That's Blood Fiend is the one, who does all of our distribution in New Jersey. He's really pushing towards that. He says, you have to get there. We've had, film fests, approached, do they want me there and stuff like that. Because I think once I come in person, everything goes, well, at least according to Blood Fiend, everything is worth way more and people get way more interested. But then we had the COVID lockdown, and I had to go see Uncle Dwayne and Uncle Doug to make sure they all were paranoid about being sick, but I think they were fine and it was just in their head. But yeah, so the fact things are the way they are now, I can still get around, but it doesn't seem like people are having conventions anymore. But as soon as they're back, I'll be there, and if you guys are there, we'll all have to get together. And I haven't had a drink yet, but maybe I'll have my first drink with all of you.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'm hoping that the conventions come back around too, and it's that's the thing is like you have there's some people that go to conventions and they just show their movie and they have a booth, but it's always like the stars that go all out and do the character and stuff like that, and like when you have
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, David Howard Thornton from Terrifier in full costume, like interacting with people. It's a huge success. So I think that's definitely the place to be. And hopefully when it comes back around, especially if the person who's working with you is in New Jersey, there's plenty of them around there. So yeah, I think that that's the way to go. I think
he's a big horror fan, my friends. He goes to the mall. Like I said, I watch a lot of documentaries and, as he calls them, arty movies. Mm-hmm. But he's a master of horror, and he knows them all and knows the places to go. Mm. And yeah, it seems like there's quite a few there. I think you're right, my friend.
Yeah. So you said you're a big fan of documentaries. Do you have like a favorite documentary, or maybe like a few that you would recommend to people?
Well, it's not mentioned in my book, but I do like that Rolling Stones when they're in Altamont one. Mm-hmm. That one is a really good one. I like the Thin Blue Line. I just hate the ending. That's a really good one. What other ones do I love? There's a few. I like, what I really like is those old movies from like the first decade and 1910s and 1920s that just kind of show people walking out of factories and like doing very normal stuff. Those are my favorite ones to watch, probably.
Yeah, because it's a different time, and it's looking how people live day to day. It's how far we've come. At the same time, too, how much we haven't changed. But
exactly, Dawson City is also a good one because it shows all that. If you guys haven't seen that one, Dawson City Frozen Time, which makes me cry every time I see it, because of all the footage they threw into the river. You should look that up. Anyone out there who hasn't seen it, it will.
What's that one that it's? I think Peter Jackson did something with it where he took like World War I footage and like remastered it. I have it. I don't remember what it's called.
Isn't there one where they put like old like black and white war footage into color?
They had lip readers.
These were the times or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They shall not grow old.
Okay. They shall not grow old. Yes, yes.
That one. I'm a big fan of the Crumb documentary. And,
yes.
And there's one that I actually had mentioned to Leo right before the show. I'm going to be doing a podcast tomorrow about it. There's one that was done in Massachusetts called Titty Cut Follies. And it's
I know that one.
Yeah, about the Massachusetts mental health. So my dad was actually a nurse in nursing school in Massachusetts in the state hospitals at the time that movie was being made. And
my friend,
told me about it like my whole life. So I had to track it down and get him a copy and all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be talking to someone about that tomorrow. And it's actually the reason why Massachusetts, it's like so tough to film in certain areas of Massachusetts because of that documentary. Like there's laws because of that.
And that was part of the direct cinema movement, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe so. Those are very all good movies. And yeah, Titty Cut is amazing. And Crumb, I mean, they kind of made us as the McCuddles feel a little better because we had our problems. Like I was walking the Red Room and blah, blah, blah. But you see Crumb and you go, oh, okay, maybe there's other McCuddles out there too.
That's exactly the same reason why I love Crumb so much, is that no matter how messed up I feel my life is, I watch that and I'm like, I feel like $1 million. This dude's like family is just completely screwed. So like it's a great documentary, especially if you feel horrible about yourself, because it'll make you feel a little bit better. Yeah, I highly recommend that one. But yeah, so that's cool that you're a fan of that stuff as well. I'm trying to think.
I love all movies, my friend. And now that, my assistant and Blood Fiend told me to call this a horror movie, I'm now watching every single horror movie in the whole world too. So I want so I can know everything about everything.
Yeah.
Well, so that brings up a question. This actually was from Sergio earlier. So you've been getting into horror. What's your favorite one so far?
Oh, that's my favorite one so far. You know which one I really like the first scene of, and I think it's probably a masterpiece, but for the first scene is Dead and Buried.
Okay.
Have you all seen that one?
Trying to remember. I don't know if I have.
It's by, I believe Mr. Dan O'Bannon wrote it. I could be wrong there. Someone, I don't know. I'm still learning the genre. But the first scene, they're on a beach, and there's, you all have to watch the first scene. I'll show you this. It's one of the best video camera scenes ever. It really inspired me and put smiles on my face.
Nice.
So if you haven't seen that one, Dead and Buried, back from 1980, 1981, sometime in there. Great poster art too.
Yeah. I'm just looking it up on IMDb, and it looks awesome. And I'll definitely track it down for sure.
You will not be disappointed, especially scene one.
Yeah. Then after that, just shut it off.
Yeah, it goes from a 10 to about a 7 or 8. Still really good, but it's almost, if it stayed as good as the first scene, it may have been the fourth movie worthy of the Golden House.
Oh wow. So so for someone new to Reel and Reel 2 and Reel, what's coming up, how would you sell this movie? Like, how would you describe it to someone who knows nothing about it? We went in blind, but I mean, how would you sell it to somebody?
That's a good question, my friend. I would say, well, go on to Reel. You mean on a practical side or on a plot-wise side?
If you're trying to recommend it to somebody, like, how would you describe it to someone? Like the most honest way you would do it, so that way they know what they're getting into.
If you're tired of movies lying to you, if you're tired of being tricked by Hollywood, if you're tired of all the crap that comes with that, and you actually want to see truth and reality, and filmmakers who don't hate you and don't talk down to you and want to take you with them to Los Angeles and get you out of your normal life, just because I was stuck too, my friends. They had me locked in the Red Room for 20 years. If you want to escape your Red Room, if you want to come to a place that's magical, well, then follow me and my new family, which grows all the time, and I'll show you all the gold under the rainbow, my friends. I am the greatest director ever, and to follow me is to follow God.
There you go.
Yeah. So you talked about Reel 2. You had to do some more video editing with that, contrast to the first movie. What did you use to edit, and any tips you would give for future filmmakers?
Yeah, good question, my friend. I don't recommend using new software. I use old software because it does old things. The new software is more lying to you. So I use old versions of Final Cut. Old versions, where you still have more freedom. I use old Photoshop. I use old everything, old stuff. So use that, and then if you really want to edit like a master, I mean, you'd have to come with me, and I'd have to show you. There's so many tips to make something reality, but I would say, don't use your first screen. It's a lying machine. You need to allow the movie to speak to you. So when you have your two screens, cancel the first one and use the timeline, pray to the Golden House, and watch for the magic to appear. Because sometimes the magic in a clip is a half second long or 2 seconds long, and then it's no good. And if you were just looking for big parts, you will miss the magic of your movie. I could make all your movies better, my friends. That's the last thing I would say to them.
That's a really good tip, to use older software. That's yeah. A lot of people still prefer the old Final Cut because the new Final Cut they've really dumbed down. They made it more. Yeah, they made it more like iMovie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you scroll clips the clip can be scrolled itself. How are you supposed to find the magic in a clip when you're scrolling through something that small and that fast?
Yeah.
It will not happen. You need to be patient.
Yeah, Leo. Be patient.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Final Cut, I'm going to be going back to it. I've been using Premiere, but well, no, because I'm helping out Roger with his movie, and he uses Final Cut, so I'm going to have to go back to that.
Are you an editor too, my friend?
A little bit. I did a documentary a while back, but it was crap. So
it wasn't crap. I mean,
we're talking about the
Death House one.
Death House one. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
What was it about?
The movie Death House. Like there was a movie that came out a little over a year ago. It was directed by Harrison Smith, and we went down to the set and did some interviews and did some some filming of the actual locations and stuff like that. It was in a prison in Pennsylvania, and Leo put together a documentary, and they showed it at conventions and stuff too. And I thought it came out.
Wow, my friend, you made a real movie then too. It wasn't. You made a real movie about a fake movie.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You were close to the magic, my friend. I haven't even seen it yet, and can tell you are on the right path. You'll have to send me a link or send my assistant. You know, he catalogs things better.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and the Robin Williams movie. Yeah. So he wants me to help him edit that.
Nice.
And what's that about Robin Williams?
Yeah, there's somebody we've been working with. He does Robin Williams impersonation, and he's doing a tribute to Robin Williams. And he has a new movie he's working on that's paying tribute to Robin Williams.
And it's I don't know if you're a Robin Williams fan, but he is spot on. Like, we've been at conventions where he's walked in the room and people stopped dead in their tracks, like, holy crap! Like, he looks just like him. He sounds like everything. It's weird because
my friend.
You can also then in a second flip of a switch, he can be De Niro, and he looks just like De Niro.
He did a makeup section in one of our previous shows, and how he showed how he switched between De Niro and then the guy from Godfather.
Al Pacino.
Yeah. Yep. Switched between the two of them. It was scary. Yeah.
And it's another real movie you're making. Very good, my friend. Very good.
He filmed it, so I'm just going to be
editing. So
I'm going to clean it up.
Yeah, I knew you guys were the wise ones. I knew it.
Well, by guys, you mean Leo. He's the wise one. We're just eye candy.
Mr. Leo, like I said, just be very patient. Let the footage speak to you. Don't speak to the footage.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Leo.
Yeah, that's great advice.
We're getting about that time, even though the last couple minutes we didn't really talk about Real or Real 2. But
no problem, my friend.
It's a good conversation.
Oh, totally. So where can people find more about Slashervictim666?
Well, I'm on all the usual places. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. It's a mixture of me and my assistant who are there, but my Instagram and Twitter, it's just me talking if you want to talk to me. But I'd say the best place is, I send out a family, and of course realstore.net, but the best place is send me your email address, and I send out a special letter once every month or two. It's my family letter, and it has all the updates of every little thing that's going on. I'll make sure I put this interview on there, and everything goes on there. It's, so if you want to stay up to real, find me on Instagram or Twitter, Slashervictim666. Send me your email, and we'll be family forever, my friends.
Nice.
There we go.
Just be cautious because you may be a star of his next movie.
Yep.
Yeah, if you fit the role, if you fit the part. Depends what we're making.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll go down to rundown with Tony.
Thank you, my friends.
Yep. You guys can find me on Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews and unboxings and such like that. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, and Tony's Movies on Instagram, where, of course, I show off my movie collection behind me. And, of course, every Tuesday here on the Wicked Horror Show. Kevin?
A-Knuckle on Twitter and Instagram every Tuesday night here on the Wicked Horror Show. I'm also doing movie reviews with the 13th Wolfman over on the audio side of Wicked Horror Show. Also part of Secret Underground Hideout and Black and White Fright, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. And I think that's it. Leo?
Yeah, and for me, just Google Leo Pond. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which. Next up, we're doing tomorrow is going to be Talking Dead, and this week we're doing the Dorkening on Thursday. We're going to have a look at the world and everything that's going on. So we'll have a special discussion about that, and also Roger Cabler will be doing another show this weekend as well. And only a couple more shows for that. We're going to be taking a break while I start editing. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll have a good one.
And go check out Reel. And just be, it's gory. Just be careful. But I mean, if it's not something that you think you can handle, I still would recommend it though. It's very it's done very well, even though it is brutal.
The first one's free, so realstore.net. You can't lose anything, my friends.
Exactly.
Realstore.net. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.